خالفتم أقوال الشيوخ فأنتم.
Yo, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. It's your brother, the Orthodox Muslim, and what a weekend it has been. It's been quite eventful, but we are back in the studio, as you could see. We are back in the studio, man. Can you guys hear me? You guys can hear me fine? You can hear me well? Hopefully you can. Guys, the growth has been wild. It's been insane. We hit the big 100K on TikTok. It's been crazy, man. It's been crazy. We're almost at 40K on YouTube. So, alhamdulillah, we've been growing exponentially. So grateful for everybody who's been supporting throughout the journey. We pulled up on that David Lynn, that fraud. Pulled up on him. He got baked 2 times in a row, man. 2 times in a row he got baked, man. That's so sad. After so many years of being on the streets and bullying Muslims and building a career and a platform out of it, you get baked by the Orthodox Muslim in your home turf too. How you get baked in your home turf, man? That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, man. Hey, man, you already know. When you bake Christians, you need some of this. We got a super chat coming through from Steelman03 with that $10. Let's start the bakery show. May Allah bless you. Hey, man, thank you so much. May Allah bless you too, Lucky. Thank you for the support. And the bakery, as you already know, is back in business, man. Is back in business. It's a little bit frozen. It has to melt down a little. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Let me tell you guys before we bring up Christians, if there are any super chats, we'll read them, and I'll just tell you the story quickly. I was with the Warner. We were supposed to stay the weekend together in Toronto, and we pulled up to downtown. We were gonna do the Dawa booth there. You know what I'm saying? And we're carrying our stuff. We get dropped off, and we're carrying all the equipment. And I look to my right, and all I see is, hold on. I'm like, yo, Warner, is that David Lynn? Warner's like, yo, who the hell is David Lynn? I'm like, yo, that looks exactly like David Lynn, man. And I didn't think much of it. We just, because I wasn't sure. So anyways, we set up. We get the table going, we get the booth going. I'm on the speaker, I'm rage baiting. You know what I'm saying? If you guys are watching, if you know, man. I was rage baiting the hell out of those Christian preachers beside us, man. You know what I'm saying? And we were doing our thing. And so I wanted to go and pull up on the Christian preachers beside us, right? So I go. We got the cameras, and I start baking these guys, man. We got this tall black guy looking down at me like a creep, like looking down, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? He got baked. Then the other dude beside him got baked. And in the middle of me baking, who pulls up? David Lynn pulls up. And he was just a background character until he wanted to sub in. Then he got baked. Then he ran. He said he had some marriage consulting or counseling or whatever. Told him, take my number. And instead of him calling me, we went later to a restaurant. We were eating. Banging food, by the way. We're eating. I get a call, no caller ID. I'm like, I pick up. And it's David Lynn's assistant with a no caller ID. Hi, this is Christ Ministry Church, whatever their church is called. Am I speaking to, so-and-so? And I'm like, yeah. Like, can you confirm that to 3:30? I'm like, yo, why doesn't David Lynn call me himself? Why are you calling me on no caller ID? And I was arguing with the lady on the phone a little bit. I said, okay, whatever, fine. 3:30 tomorrow, same time, same place. It's all Gucci, man. And we pull up again, and he gets baked. But this time, he had an earpiece. We actually figured out that he had somebody on the back end telling him answers and telling him what to say. That's why he was, if you guys watched the full debate, he was zoning out so much. He was so confused. His responses were delayed because he had a little earpiece that he was, you know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. Somebody gifted a membership, Fathi Muhammad. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate the support. Barakallah feek. Here, let's show it quickly. But yeah, man. Then he started doing damage control. He went into his parking lot or room or whatever, and he did a little reaction. And he's like, you're gonna see this all over, but don't worry, because Christ is Lord and he died for your sins. Yeah, so we got a super chat from Abu Bakr Bababe. Hayakallah, bro. Abu Avery, I text your IG from Mob, but didn't respond. Jazakallah khair. Text your IG, please. Sorry, guys, I get a lot of messages, so I apologize if I don't get to you, man. I apologize. Barakallah feek for the support anyway. We got a super chat from the Mihai Dawa. Akhi, assalamu alaikum. It's me, Mihai Dawa. You can be on YouTube, but not TikTok. I don't know your TikTok, bro. So text me your TikTok. Inshallah, next time I'm live on there, I'll give it to you. Barakallah feek. Thank you for the support. We got another super chat here from Iran with the £5 super chat. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all my brothers and sisters in the chat. Also, Brother Libano, free Palestine. Free Palestine, man. Barakallah feek. I think sister. I can't tell. I can't really see your profile picture. Thank you for support. Barakallah feek. Yeah, man. Is this gonna melt or what? All right. Should we put let's put the link, man. Let's put the link. One sec. My neck hurts, man. All right. I think we pinned it. Got a couple super chats. We got GNP0 with the $3 super chat. Libiano Bakery is officially open. You already know, man. That bakery is in business. We got another €5 super chat from the Pauline Bakery. Look at that profile picture, man. The Pauline Bakery. Assalamu alaikum. We got them saying Ethiopians are Arabs. Allah from Albania. Hey, man. I guess Ethiopians are Arabs, man. Barakallah feek, akhi, man. Yeah, that was funny, man. That was funny. This guy, And who saw me actually? Wesley Apologetics. I'll get to you in a second. All right, guys. Who saw me actually ask the Ethiopian guy standing in the crowd if he's an Arab after, where he froze? Who remembers that? Who remembers me asking the Ethiopian guy if he's an Arab? And he's just froze. So, guys, funny story about that guy. That guy is a self-proclaimed prophet from Ethiopia who is in Toronto visiting David Lynn. So I made the prophet freeze, man. He froze. He froze. He didn't know what to say, man. So yes, that guy was a self-proclaimed prophet. He's pretty popular in Ethiopia, actually. He's famous. He got baked. Yeah, he claims to be a Nabi from Allah. All right, man. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
دولة الإسلام.
All right. Hello, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
It's
Just
only
1
for
minute.
Christians, the panel, brother.
Oh, if you've got just 1 minute, otherwise I'll get off. If you've got other callers, I'll get off. But if you've got 1 minute,
What? Do you have a question about something?
no, I just want to add something onto your general confirmation. Like all the prophets were general confirmationists. Like Isaiah, was kind of critical of the sacrificial system. Also, there were other issues where Isaiah could be seen, like Isaiah 42. Also talks of a new law. All the prophets generally confirmed the previous prophets' message, but they also added something else as well. So I just want to add, to make you aware that all the prophets did what the Prophet ﷺ did.
Yes, I'm aware. Yes.
If we just add that in when you talk about to these Christians, I think it will just solidify your arguments. But brother, may Allah guide you and keep you strong, and all the best to you, brother. I'll leave.
Thank you, brother. Salam alaikum. Thank you. All right, guys. Let's see. Hello.
Hello?
Are you a Christian?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. The question of the day is.
Yeah.
Sorry, are you good?
Yeah. I want to ask you first one question, innit?
What's the question? I'll answer you after we talk. What's the question?
What makes someone Arab?
What makes somebody Arab?
Yeah.
Depends on what you mean by Arab, but we'll get to that. Actually, that's actually within the topic. So,
okay, good.
Yeah, in Genesis 17, how many covenants are given?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
I am Christian. I'm not. I'm Christian, but I'm not educated on everything. You get what I'm saying?
You're not educated, so why are you up here? Are you defending Christianity here?
Yeah, I am. But listen, quick question, bro.
How are you defending Christianity if you're not educated?
Well, I'm not educated about everything. So you just want educated people here? Is that what you're saying?
I want people who can defend Christianity. Can you defend Christianity?
I will, but not just whatever you're gonna just throw at me. But I have a couple questions. If you want to answer
well, this
them.
is not a Q&A. This is defend Christianity. Are you ready to defend Christianity?
Okay, then you can drop me. It's fine.
So you don't want to defend Christianity. All right. He doesn't want to defend Christianity, man. What can I say? Hello.
What is me again?
All right. So he came on 2 devices, not defending Christianity. We missed a couple super chats, so let's get to them quick. From Khabat, we have God bless. Everyone should unite the whole Ummah this time and the West against these. Let us Barakallahu feek for the support. Thank you. Thank you very much, brother. All right, we have another super chat from the Tates, $5. I remember I am from Ethiopia, and as soon as that happened, I went to see myself in the mirror just to make sure I'm not black. That's right, man. Thank you so much for the support. That's right. And we got another $5 super chat from Hassan Masood. To be truly God is to be truly not human, and to be truly human is to be truly not God. Jesus was human and could never be God. Alhamdulillah for Islam. That's right. That's exactly what the Arians argued against the Trinitarians. That's absolutely right. All right, let's see if we have a Christian. Hello. All right, he left. He left. All right, if you are a Christian and you'd like to defend Christianity, then, all right, this guy's back. Let's see if he's going to behave this time because he ran away last time. Hello, Mr. Prima Scriptura. Prima Scriptura. Hello.
Hey, Libiano, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Why'd you run away last time?
Man, Jabril came, interrupted my internet.
Okay. If you do that one more time, I'm going to drop you, okay?
Come on, don't run, man. We cool.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. If you do that one more time,
Yeah.
you're out of here. Sounds good?
Yeah, sounds good. Once you give me a chance to
All right.
speak and don't run, we cool.
Right. So then the topic of the day is the promise given to the Ishmaelites that they'll be a great nation
Okay.
in the context of them worshiping the true God. When was that fulfilled?
All right, let's now repeat the context that Ishmael. Repeat it.
So in verse 18 of Genesis 17, Abraham prays that Ishmael might be a true servant of God, that he might live before God.
Hold one second. You mind if I just pull up the text?
Yes. God replies in verse 20, and he says, "As for Ishmael, I've heard thee. I will surely multiply him. I will make him fruitful. He will give birth to 12 princes, and I will turn him into a great nation." So God responds to Abraham, and he accepts his prayer, and he says he will make Ishmael a blessed man, he will make him fruitful, and he will make him a great nation in the context of Ishmael worshiping the true God. When was this fulfilled, and when did Ishmael become a great nation?
In terms of Islam, I could understand Ishmael's generations. In terms of his 12 sons, we have the evidence of the Nabateans and the rest of the tribes that served the Nabatean kingdoms in Petra. But in terms of Islam, I don't know how you're going to connect.
I didn't say in terms of Islam. I didn't mention that. I said, when did he become a great nation?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I answered that part, but I'm just...
You didn't answer. I'm still waiting for it.
Are you listening? So I said...
I'm listening, yeah.
Right. So I said, in terms of his 12 sons, the Nabateans, right, which are descendants of Ishmael, has had a great civilization in Petra.
Yeah, so remember in verse 18?
Included in the Nabateans were also his brothers, his tribal brothers that constituted the kingdom of the Nabateans.
Nice. So remember, I asked you in verse 18, it's in context of Ishmael becoming a true worshiper of God and his nation becoming true monotheist worshipers of God. That's the context of great nation. A great nation, according to the Torah in Exodus 32 and Deuteronomy 4, is a nation that worships God and has a body of laws. That suits the context of verse 18. When did the Arabs become a nation that worships God?
Right. So this is what I'm saying. Right? Nowhere in the text is alluding to what you said, but what
it's verse 18. I said verse 18.
All right, so let's read verse 18. It says, "And Abraham said unto him, O Ishmael, might live before thee."
Okay, there we go. So then Abraham is asking that Ishmael might worship God, that he might be after God, that he might live before God, correct?
If you want to interpret it that way, I can allow
okay, so when did Ishmael, and we know Abraham is a righteous prophet, correct?
Yeah, if you want to term it that way, no problem.
So when Abraham is asking God to make Ishmael a great nation, does Abraham have in mind a numerous nation that worships idols and going to hell, or a nation that worships God? What does Abraham have in mind?
Right. So all Abraham asked God was that Ishmael might be blessed. But let me answer. Yeah. All Abraham in the text of verse 18, right? All Abraham asked was that God would bless him. Right? It is God who responds. And
I asked
let me finish. Yeah. Right? It is God who responds, right? And said, as for Ishmael, I have heard you, Abraham. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful and will multiply exceedingly.
Nice.
12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation.
Nice.
So,
So you're not
in my
addressing the
response,
point.
so in my response, did I not answer you and said,
No.
of
no.
Ishmael's
you
seed?
keep jumping over the point. The
No,
question was.
I'm reading the text that you gave
okay.
me. So
the question was, when Abraham asks for his son or prays for his son to live before God, does he have in mind that he wants his son to be a numerous nation that worships idol, or does he want his firstborn son to worship God?
Right, and I'm saying nowhere in the text does it indicate that. What it is, I'm telling you,
sir. So we're gonna try this again. Okay.
No, but wait. Let me answer.
Stop running.
Let me answer.
Stop panicking.
Listen,
please.
you always manifest when
Stop
I come.
panicking. Stop panicking.
I don't panic.
Please stop panicking.
Could you read the text then? Could we read the text? Could we read the text?
Oh, that Ishmael may live before you. What does that mean?
Okay, what does that mean?
It means that he will worship God.
Okay, cool. And I'm saying, okay, fine.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
So Abraham wants. Stop cutting me.
I'll agree with you.
So Abraham wants. Dude, stop. So Abraham wants Ishmael to be God-fearing and worship God. Correct.
Live before him.
Good. So he wants Ishmael to be a God-fearing nation. Correct.
Correct.
Good.
Wait. He said him, and God says that I will bless him
and make him into a great nation. So when did that happen? When was Abraham's request granted?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I answered initially and said, of the 12 tribes, right, that sprung out from Ishmael, one of them was a descendant called Naboth. Of him, in the city, in the nation of Petra, the kingdom of Petra, where the rest of some of his brothers also were, that is the great civilization.
Okay,
right?
Did they worship God?
Was that?
Did they worship God?
I would say that's inconclusive. To answer it, to say which God they worship. This guy
is actually running right now.
No,
you
no,
know
no,
what I'm asking you. You know what I'm asking you.
Let me put it this way. They did not worship Allah.
The question.
Okay, let me tell you this way. They did not worship Allah.
Okay, no, did they worship God?
They worshiped the God of his father.
They worshipped the God of Israel, the Arabs?
Right, the God of his father.
So Abraham. The Arabs, okay, when did the Arabs start worshiping the God of Israel?
So Ishmael worshipped the God of his father.
No. When did the nation of Ishmael worship the God of Israel?
I'm saying that when you ask me, right, which nation, I told you this is what I tried.
Good God, sir. Let's try one more time.
Listen,
when did the Ishmaelites worship the one true God as God promises in Genesis 17?
Right. So
verse
would you allow me to
18
answer?
and 20. Do we have an answer, sir?
Right. Okay, good. And I'm saying they worship the God of Ishmael's father, and they also worship idols. There's evidence of both.
So did they worship? When did they worship idols, and when did they stop worshiping idols?
Right. So this is what I'm saying, right? Based on the fact, right, that Ishmael knew the God of his father, Ishmael worshiped Yahweh. And I'm telling you that nowhere there does Ishmael. Well, let me finish. Why you always keep interrupting? I listen to you.
Because you're not addressing the point.
No, I answered your question from the jump. I told you. This is the question you asked me. Could you explain? Could you explain to me? Let me repeat the question, right? This is what you asked me.
Yeah.
Was Ishmael blessed? Right?
Yeah, Ishmael the nation.
What did he become?
Ishmael. Then
let me finish.
Ishmael. All right,
it's time.
All I'm asking is to let me finish.
It's time to put you.
Yeah, no time wasting. Ishmael, he's pretending like he doesn't understand. When did Ishmael, the nation, become a great nation and worship God?
Right. I answered you and tell you the descendants, right, of Ishmael. It is the 12 sons that God said that would become a nation, right?
So when did they start worshiping God?
And listen, you asked me, when did they become? I told you it is the Nabateans. Is that correct or incorrect?
Okay.
Is that correct or incorrect?
Sir, I didn't ask you when the Nabateans worship God.
Are the Nabateans descendants of Ishmael?
Good God. When did Ishmael as a nation, so the Arabs in totality,
start worshiping God?
How are you tying Arab and Ishmael?
Because Arabs descend from Ishmael.
Prove that to me.
Yeah, the Arabs that we have documentation of in the 7th and the 6th centuries claim that Ishmael is their father. We know from biblical texts and Talmudic traditions that Ishmael is the father of the Arabs. Do you deny that Ishmael is the father of the Arabs?
I am denying that Muhammad doesn't come through the line of Ishmael.
I didn't talk about Muhammad. I said.
Well, I'm saying Islam through Muhammad.
I spoke about
Islam.
Sir. Hello.
Islam.
I spoke about Arabs. Did I say Muhammad? Did I say Steve?
When
Well,
I'm clarifying
the
the point.
Arabs, who are the Ishmaelites?
No, they're not only the Arabs, because what I'm saying is.
So when did, sir?
Well,
sir,
let me answer. I'm
this
saying
question stumps them so much that they can't answer it.
You have
When
Yemenites that are Arabs. You have
when
Iraqis,
did the
Iranians
kingdom
that are
of
Arabs.
Ishmael become a great nation?
So let's clarify the point that you made. You said the Arabs all came from Ishmael, right? And I challenged you on it. All
I
you
didn't say
said
the
was
Arabs
that
all came from Ishmael. Why are you lying?
Well, okay. So then can we clarify? Not all Arabs could have descended from Ishmael. Could we agree on that?
No, we could agree that the Arabs that existed in the peninsula came from Ishmael. We could agree on
which
that,
peninsula
right?
are we talking about? In the Hijaz?
Which peninsula are we talking about? Are you stupid?
In the Hijaz, yeah.
The Arab Peninsula, the Hijaz.
Right,
Where did those
right, good. So
Arabs
in
come
the
from?
Hijaz, we would include Mecca, Medina, and the
Mecca,
surrounding.
Medina, the Nabateans,
Right.
even the
Which would
Yemenites.
also include
Let me finish. Even the Yemenites who
Mhm.
mixed with the descendants of Ishmael.
Mhm.
So we know that the Arabs all over the peninsula came from Ishmael, and the Yemenites mixed with the descendants of Ishmael. So the Arabs in totality come from Ishmael. So now please,
so can I challenge you?
Okay,
so can I challenge you to show that
sir,
you can't prove
stop
that?
running from the question.
No, I'll answer your question, but in return, can I challenge you?
When did Ishmael become a great nation that worships God?
Right. So I'm saying, right, it is true his descendants, right? So I'm challenging you on the
Guys,
fact
am I
that,
speaking Chinese?
right. So
Am
I'm
I
challenging
speaking
you to
Vietnamese?
prove to me that any of the
I'm gonna
Arabs in
try
the
one more
Hijaz
time.
can
One
trace
more
their
time.
lineage to
When
Ishmael.
did the Ishmaelites become a great nation that worships God, sir?
And
That's the
my
question.
brother, I answered.
My brother,
Now I'm
brother.
challenging you.
When did, guys, it's like I'm speaking Vietnamese.
But I'm challenging you. Can you
Tagalog?
prove any of the tribes in the peninsula can trace their lineage?
According to you,
Ishmael?
sir, whoever Ishmael is, when did they become a great nation that worships God?
And I said through his descendants.
Okay, who?
His 12 sons.
Who are they?
They listed in
yes.
Genesis.
Who are they?
I told you one of them, the main one of the civilizations, is Nabot. Him and his brothers, what
about the others? Who are they?
Who? The Yemenites?
All of them, the 12 sons.
Well, there were other sons, but they were not.
Who are they? Who are they?
I can't remember the list of all of them.
Are they
listed
Arabs?
In the Bible.
Are they Arabs? Are they Israelites? Who are they?
They're Ishmaelites.
Okay,
that's
who
what they
are
were
the
called in the
Ishmaelites
Bible.
Today, who are the Ishmaelites? Who are they?
No one can trace the Ishmaelites.
So we don't know the Ishmaelites anymore. They're gone.
No, I'm saying no one can trace the lineage.
Okay, do you know who they are?
I'm saying no one can. So if anyone claims they can trace it.
So then the Ishmaelites are lost.
Correct.
Thank you very much. Just like you're lost in the chat. You see, guys? You see, guys, what this question does to them? You see what this question does to them? The Ishmaelites are lost. We don't know who they are, guys. A second ago, they were the Nabateans. You guys see what happens? That's what happens. They become robots when you ask them the question. Absolutely baked. It ain't even It ain't even funny, man. Hello, Mr. Uriah.
And you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Can you speak up a little bit?
Yo, hello?
Yes, I can hear you, my friend. Yes.
All right. Thank you for letting me up. Yeah, so one, I'm trying to really understand your argument against the last guy that was up. So is your issue that missed through Ishmael
Hey,
the
bro.
12, what's up?
Like your voice is a little low. I can still hear you, but it's a little low. Just letting you know.
Let me fix it. Hold on, I'll fix it. Hold on, I'll put them on the AirPods. Hold on. Do I sound better? Hello?
It's fine, man. Just keep going.
Yeah, so I'm trying to understand what your problem is with the last guy's argument. So are you saying because God promised through Ishmael that hey, I will give you these 12 tribes or like these like people through you and multiply you. Is your issue that all of them did not worship God? I don't understand.
There's no issue. I said, when did Ishmael become a great nation that worships God? That was my question.
When did Ishmael?
Hey, you're lagging, bro.
So
Yeah, you're lagging, brother.
Yo, hello?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back now. Okay, thank you. Jesus. Okay. So I'm saying, so are you looking specifically for a nation named Ishmael? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, dude. The Ishmaelites are the Arabs, Habibi. So when did the Arabs become a great nation that worships God?
How would we define a great nation?
A nation that worships God.
So basically a majority population that worships God.
Yeah.
I would argue. Before I answer that. So, for my answer to be right, are you saying like as that happened within a biblical text, or can it go forward past biblical text?
I want a fulfillment in history where the Arabs became a great nation as God promised.
The Bible doesn't say Ishmael's people will be Arabs.
It
So
does.
why are you making that claim?
It does.
Or
Genesis
verse, okay.
Are the Ishmaelites the Arabs?
I'm not making the claim you are, so I need the proof.
No, but are the Ishmaelites the Arabs? Who are they?
I'm not making it again. I'm not making the claim. So
no, I'm asking who they are.
I don't have to answer that.
Yeah, so we know from historical attestation from the likes of Eusebius, from the likes of Sebios, from the likes of Talmudic traditions, rabbinic Jewish traditions, from the likes of Arab traditions, that the Ishmaelites are the Arabs, because the Arabs and everybody in the region acknowledge that they come from Ishmael. So the burden of proof is on you to say that they're not, because the historical attestation. Hey, sir, listen. Not whoa. The historical attestation shows that the Ishmaelites are the Arabs. Do you have any historical attestation that suggests otherwise?
Hold on. So you're saying because some people claimed to be a thing, that makes X thing true?
No, I'm saying because of the attestation that we have historically, we don't have any other reason to suggest that the Ishmaelites are other people. From the let me finish, dude. The geographical location, from the attestation given in the biblical text, from the attestation given in the extra biblical text, we see that the Ishmaelites are none other than the Arab people. Do you have any attestation to suggest otherwise?
So one, I would like paper or something concluding what you're saying, other than I guess what would be modern day Arabs now, or Arabs from that time period claiming to be X thing.
And others claiming them to be. Yes.
Okay, but hold on. Wait, let's say I were to grant you that.
Mhm.
God did not say this is what Xing is. I don't care what a human then puts into it to prove a point. That's not the claim made in the Bible. Doesn't make sense.
What claim? Sorry, I don't
So it's
understand.
okay. So if the Bible, so okay, hold on. If the Bible just it says Ishmael's people, will have these tribes or whatever, forward, right? We've already gotten the verse. We've cited that as the verse. Okay.
Yeah.
If later then these Arabs now claim we are the people that God was talking about. If God did not make that explicitly clear in His text, how did they get the ability to make that claim?
Hey,
That
bro,
doesn't make sense.
your voice is cutting in and out, bro.
I'm
I
gonna take
don't
these
understand
AirPods. I'm
what
gonna
you're
take these
saying.
AirPods. Okay, well, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying this. This is what I'm saying. If the Bible does not clearly make that statement that you're claiming it's making, which you're inferring it through other people's transcriptions or whatever they've written down.
Yeah.
What I'm saying to you though is that you don't then get to the ability to then change what God meant in the verse to fit your narrative. That's not how it works.
Who are the Ishmaelites?
So there's multiple. So there are multiple ways in the text in which you can become an Israelite. People, like for instance, Hebrew Israelites try to hearken on the fact that it's only black people, for instance, which I completely disagree with.
Brother, I didn't ask that. I said, who are the Ishmaelites?
Wait. Let me finish the point though. So I'm saying there's multiple ways. One way being lineage. That is one way that God describes His people. Another way is through faith, joining the community, can become an Israelite. So there's multiple ways.
So who are the Ishmaelites?
I just gave you two examples.
Who are the Ishmaelites, sir? Not the Israelites.
The Israelites?
The Ishmaelites, sir.
The Ishmaelites.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume someone from the descendant of Ishmael.
And who are they?
People descending from Ishmael.
Yeah, who are they? Who are these people
from
today?
The 12 tribes?
Yeah, who are these people today?
Hold on. One, you could not make a definitive claim those people are Arabs today. You could not make that claim.
We can make the definitive claim.
No, you cannot.
From all the data that we have, that's what the evidence suggests. Do you have any counter evidence?
Yeah, so let me give an example. I don't have to really present even like.
So, sir, just tell me, who are the Ishmaelites?
Hold on, bro. Yo, you can't do that, bro. Let me answer.
No, I can. You're freaking out right now.
I want you to answer the question. You keep cutting me off.
I want to know, who are the Ishmaelites? If you're not going to accept the historical attestation, the biblical inference that identifies the Ishmaelites as Arabs, identifies as Kedar as Arabs, Jewish Christian commentators, church fathers, historians that identify the Ishmaelites as Arabs. If you're going to deny all that, then I need some counter evidence to suggest otherwise. So who are the Ishmaelites?
So I'm going to answer the question now. So Ishmaelites would be people from the 12 tribes as described in the Bible. That's one.
Now, what 12 tribes?
From the 12 people God promised that his lineage would come from.
Oh, boy. Sorry.
So I didn't mean to say, I'm saying from the people promised through him to expand. Let me be more specific. To expand.
And who are they?
Hold on, wait, but I want to say this about getting interrupted though. So this is what I'm saying though. So let's say the expansion occurs. You're not going to convince me that all the people stayed in the same area of Earth for the rest of time, correct?
No, I am going to convince you that.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
You want to hear it?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Moving around has nothing to do with who the Ishmaelites are. We know who the Ishmaelites are from their geographical location found in biblical text and extra biblical text. We know that Hagar and Ishmael were casted out into the Arabian Peninsula, into the desert, and stayed there. And those people who existed in the Arabian Peninsula are the Arabs. The Kedarites that are described in Isaiah 42 are described as people who are in Arabia and as the Arabs. Okay? So we know from biblical text and extra biblical text and from historical attestation and from the people themselves that have traced their lineage that the Ishmaelites are the Arabs. Now,
Do you have any counter evidence to suggest otherwise?
So okay, hold on. Okay, so I can look it up real quick. I can just look it up real quick. But so by you making this point, by you making this point of the Ishmaelites being possibly modern day Arabs today, so
It's
that
not
they,
modern day Arabs. Arabs have been Arabs for
I mean, right,
far back
whatever,
as
everyone, right,
modern
right.
day Arabs.
So
I
you're
don't know.
saying with that point being made, that would then completely dethrone the thing from the Bible, because the Bible's claim is that these people would have been Christian, right?
So no, the Bible says that Ishmael, the nation, will become a great nation that worships God. When did that take place?
Right, and I asked you earlier how we defining great nation, and you said
I told
being a
you
majority Christian nation,
a
right?
majority Christian nation.
No. How did you define great nation?
What are you
When you
talking
define
about?
great nation? No, define great nation.
I said a great nation is a majority Christian nation.
Yeah, I asked you that earlier. That's what you agreed to.
Oh boy.
So fine. So define great nation.
I said a
define
great nation is a nation that worships God.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
And that's found in Deuteronomy 4 and in Exodus 32. A great nation is a nation that has a body of laws and worships and fears God.
Okay.
So when did Ishmael become a nation that worships God?
Wait, hold on. During that time period, was the majority not Jewish people?
Dude, Ishmael
Yeah.
is not, they're not Jews, sir. Jews
No, Jew
come
by
from
religion, not by ethnicity.
religion? No.
Yeah. No.
There was no such thing as Jew in the time of Abraham and Ishmael. No.
Wait, no. See. You're doing it again. Hold on. You're doing it again. That's why I try to make this very clear. Are we saying, because remember, for instance, when God makes a promise, it does not mean it's going to happen immediately. So yeah, so now you're trying to be snaky. You're trying to be snaky here. So I'm going to be very clear what I'm saying. So I'm asking you specifically, are we saying in a future context or only specifically when the verse is said? Because
Yes,
the
in
land became Jewish.
a future context, when did Ishmael become a great nation?
That entire area was full of Jewish people.
No, the Arabian Peninsula had no Jews. Yeah.
No. What?
That's right. Just wait. The Arabian Peninsula was Jewish?
At one time period, yes.
Let's see it. What's the evidence for that?
Okay, all right, okay, let's see. Okay, so the Arabian Peninsula.
No, bring the evidence for that.
Hold on, yeah. Okay, hold on.
Guys, apparently the Arabian Peninsula was Jewish. Oh boy. Oh boy. Lord have mercy.
All right, let's see. Arabian Peninsula. All right. Okay, so yes, Jewish communities did exist in the Arabian Peninsula during
Jewish communities. Yep, that's right.
Yeah. So okay, so are we done? I mean, I don't get it in.
Yeah, Jewish communities were not Ishmaelites. They came from Jacob.
Why not?
Because the Jewish communities at the time of the exile in the 1st century and 2nd centuries moved because of the exile after Bar Kokhba. Some of them moved into Egypt, some of them moved into Europe, and some of them moved into the Arabian Peninsula and into Yemen. But they were Jews, not Arabs. And there were a couple small communities that lived in the peninsula. I'm asking, when did the Ishmaelites, not the Israelites, when did the Ishmaelites become a great nation?
So wait, so the claim you made to me earlier, great nation is one that worships God, correct?
Yes.
So if I'm making the claim now, the Arabian Peninsula was Jewish, they're worshiping God.
This guy is freaking stupid or something.
Are you stupid?
Let's try this again.
Yeah, try this again.
When did the Ishmaelites become a great nation?
Okay, were the Israelites living in the
not the Jews, not the Israelites. When did the Ishmaelites become a great nation?
Were the Ishmaelites living in the Arabian Peninsula?
The Ishmaelites are the Arabs living in the peninsula. That's right.
Oh, and it was Jewish, right?
No,
No, it wasn't.
no,
It wasn't.
of course not.
How was it not? How was it not?
Yo, are you high right now?
Are you crazy? How was it not Jewish?
I'll tell you how it's not Jewish.
Okay, let me see.
Because the Ishmaelites come from Ishmael. Jews come from Isaac and Jacob.
Okay, so
when did the Arab Ishmaelites, who are not Jews, become a great nation?
Okay, so maybe so hold on. So let me backtrack. Okay, so maybe I'm being a little bit not fully explaining what I'm saying when I'm saying this. Okay, when I say Jew, I do understand the lineage of Jewish people. I'm not saying that. I'll be more clear what I'm saying here so we don't have a misunderstanding. I'm saying at a certain time period, Jews can mean two things. Same thing with Israelites. It can mean two things. So hold on. Stop. Wait, hold on. It can mean you're of the lineage, like you just said, through the family. I agree. Also, I can give you Bible verses to cite this. You can be a follower to be Jewish, is what I'm saying.
So the Arabs converted to Judaism?
No, stop. No. They would have already been, hold on. They would have already been following God. Well, in my instance, my Christian God, they would have already been following God. And as time progressed, it would have morphed, and not really like a conversion, more so as the Bible was being written and further extended.
But we know that the Arabs were worshiping 360 pagan gods until the 7th century.
Is that the majority of people?
Yep.
The majority were worshiping
The majority were pagans. Yes.
And what year was this?
There was from up until, as far as we can remember, up until the 7th century. They worshipped 360 gods. There were small Christian communities, and there were small non-Arab Jewish communities.
So I'm looking at it right here. Prominent communities. Over time, these Jewish tribes became a prominent ethno-religious community in pre-Islamic Arabia. So what are you talking about?
I'm not asking about Jewish communities that came into Arabia. I'm asking about the Ishmaelite Arabs. When did they become Jews or worship the one true God?
Dude. Yo, okay, hold on. Dude. Yo, I think you're doing this on purpose now. So I'm gonna say it again. If the Ishmaelites were in this Arabian Peninsula, we both agree they're in the Arabian Peninsula, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Both also agreed it did not have to mean immediately when God promised it. We can also use a future text, correct?
Right. When did they become a great nation that worships God?
So if the same people are in the Arabian Peninsula, they're still 1,000 years later. They're still in there, correct?
They're still in there worshiping 360 deities.
I just looked it up.
What do you mean? No, you just looked. Hey, sir. What are you talking about? The Arabs were listen. The Arabs worshipped 360 deities up until the 7th century.
Okay.
They were not monotheists.
Who said that?
This is documented as much as more than any biblical text.
No one made the claim that.
So then we know undisputedly that the Arabs were pagans who worshipped 360 deities up until the 7th century.
No.
What do you mean no?
No.
So the Arabs were worshiping the Israelite God?
They were majority Jewish.
So the Arabs were majority Jewish.
No. That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
That's what you just said.
I said beforehand they became majority Jewish. Now they're Muslim. Now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before Islam, before the 7th century, what were they?
Before the 7th century? Well, you know what? Let me see. I'm not gonna make a statement I don't know. I don't know what the correlation is between the Bible and 7th century. I'm not sure what the. I'm not sure what the.
Okay,
like the
so then
gap is.
I'll tell you. The Arabs, up until the year 600, were worshiping 360 deities in the Kaaba.
Okay. Up to what year?
Sorry.
So, okay, I'm reading it right here. Southern Arabia, Yemen, a prominent Jewish population resided in Yemen with traditions
suggesting ancestors settled even there before the destruction of the first temple. There's also evidence of the Himmerite kingdom embracing Judaism in the 4th century CE.
That's all nice. But
Okay.
what I asked you is, when did what were the Arabs worshiping? Not Jewish communities who moved into Arab lands.
Wait, whoa, wait, why they gotta move there? Wait, hold on, wait, why are they moving there? Why are they moving there?
Because Jews stayed in the Jerusalem area, in Judea, in the southern kingdom, in the northern kingdom after the split.
That's
where they were
bloodline.
situated.
That's bloodline, not faith.
That's blood lying.
No, yeah, you have
Jews didn't live in Judea. Just wait. Jews didn't live in the kingdom of Israel.
Okay, wait, I didn't make that claim.
Dude, are you high? Are you okay?
We're speaking on the Arabian Peninsula, correct?
Right. So I'm not talking about Jews who came into Yemen and settled there. I'm not talking about Jews who came into into Medina and settled there. I'm speaking about the Arabs. Were they worshiping one God, the God of Abraham, or were they worshiping 360 deities?
Okay. I'm trying to make this clear to you, right? Just because it says they worship God does not mean everyone worship God.
Dude, were they worshiping 360 deities?
Some people were. Some were, sure.
No,
and
the majority were.
They were not.
That was the Arab religion.
No, they were not.
What's the evidence for that?
Well, I got biblical text saying otherwise.
The biblical text says the Arabs worship the one true God. Let's see it.
What? Wait, you just read me the verse saying God made the claim.
That's the promise. That's at the time of Abraham. Arabs hadn't even become Ishmaelites yet.
I mean, when we go further, again, I'm not sure. Oh, hold on, let me think. Was it? I know Jesus didn't go through the Arabian Peninsula. I'm saying, well, I'll say this. Let me say this. I'm not sure exactly about the Arabian Peninsula, but as these other current Arab like countries now that Jesus goes through, they're all like Jewish people. Like everyone there is Jewish.
No, they're not.
No.
No, they're not. But anyways,
what are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about?
Was Jesus baptized in Jordan?
Was Jesus baptized in Jordan?
The Jordan River.
You know what? Was he? I don't know. Yeah.
He was baptized in Jordan. Is Jordan a Muslim country?
Yes.
Nice. Did Jesus go to Lebanon?
Yeah.
Is Lebanon a Muslim country?
Yeah. Yes.
You said they're all Jewish.
Egypt's Muslim.
Egypt is. So you said they're all Jewish, though.
No. See, stop doing that. The promise was at some point. Wait, hold on. The promise was at some point these countries would be Jewish.
But they weren't Arab yet.
Jewish at a certain point. All of them.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the Arabs. The Arabs didn't conquer these lands and Arabize them yet. That happened after the 7th century.
Doing that, bro. Oh my God, bro. The claim. Hold on, wait, sir. Okay, one more time. We're gonna do one more time. The Arabian. All right, so we're gonna start from the beginning. We're gonna start from the beginning to the end, and we're gonna. Okay, the Arabian Peninsula, correct? Okay, the Ishmaelites are in the Arabian Peninsula, correct?
That's right.
Okay, at some point, the same Arabian Peninsula that the Israelites stayed in, the same ones, right? At some point, that land became majority Jewish, correct?
No.
What? Why? Why not?
What's the evidence for that?
What do you? I just read it to you.
What's the evidence? I just read it to you. You read to me that Jewish communities came and settled into Arabia. I agree. So when did the Arabs in Arabia become Jewish?
No, that's not what happened. No, hold on. Wait, hold on.
That is what happened. Jewish communities moved into the Himmerite kingdom in Yemen, and Jewish communities moved into Medina. So there was a couple communities there, but they were Jewish who came from Jerusalem, who came from the land of Israel. Okay? And they moved and settled into these lands due to Roman oppression and due to exile. So when did the Arabs become a nation that worships God? I still haven't answered.
Okay, all right, bro. Okay. Maybe I get you with this one. Maybe this will make more sense to you. Okay, let's say you're correct. I'm gonna give it to you, right? I'm gonna concede it to you. Some other random Jews came through and they turned the land, whatever. Cool, right? Okay, but if the Ishmaelites that are there then agreed to become Jewish, would that mean the same thing?
They didn't agree to become Jewish.
They didn't.
No. The Arabs were pagans until the 7th century. Actually, you know what's interesting? Let's see what Jews themselves say about this, shall we?
Okay, let's see.
Let's take a look quickly here. I'll pull it up. Here we go. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me share my screen real quick. All right. Can you see my screen?
Let me see. Hold on. Okay, yeah.
Here we go. All right. This is the commentary on Genesis 17, verse 20. Sounds good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's give it a read. Where'd it go? All right. Go ahead.
Okay, so as for Ishmael,
No. On the right, brother. On the right,
okay.
the commentary.
Okay. Who's this from?
This is from a Jewish commentary on the verse.
Okay. We see from our historical records that this prophecy came true after a delay of 2,333 years. Abraham was circumcised in the year 2047, according to Seder Hadart, and Mohammedan faith organized in the year
Originated
in the year 4384, exactly 2333 years later. This delay was not due to sins of the original Ishmaelites. They had been looking forward to the fulfillment of this prophecy for all these years.
Okay, so who fulfilled this prophecy according to Jewish commentary?
I mean, they're claiming here that it was delayed or wasn't fulfilled, right?
It was delayed after 2,333 years, and then was fulfilled by who?
Abraham.
Dude, are you have reading comprehension problems or something? When the Mohammedan religion, that is Islam, came.
Right.
2,330 years after.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Okay, so then it became a great nation when the Prophet Muhammad came and Islam came to them. Is that correct?
No, I mean I don't agree with that. So I don't agree with that.
Okay, but that's what Jews are saying.
A Jew. Okay, so look. A Jew can say that, but I'm okay. So again, I guess let's make this clear again.
If Arabia became Jewish, as you say, why didn't the Jews say, well, Arabia became Jewish and that was the fulfillment?
Yeah. So the Jew I'm talking about is the type of Jew that Jesus was, which is much different from modern.
Okay,
Jews
so then Christians. So when did Arabia become Christian?
Well, no. Well, I'm saying no. Stop. They couldn't be Christian because Jesus wasn't born yet, so it couldn't be Christian.
No, even after Jesus was born, when did they become Christian? When did they become a great nation?
No. Okay. Thank you. That's a good question. So I'm gonna make this clear. Okay. When Jesus was born, I'm making the claim that people group all followed my God. But when Jesus was born and then denied him as Christ, that's when they separated. So right before Jesus was born, Those people were Jewish. That I'm agreeing with. Those were Jewish people.
So when did Arabia worship that true Jewish God?
Well, so the verses I've read in the Bible, the entire lands he went to were all Jewish. So
Jesus, the lands that Jesus went to are Jewish?
oh yeah.
But he didn't go to Arabia.
And that's what I was gonna, and that's okay, look, and that's what I was gonna say earlier, that we were talking about Jordan, Egypt, Jordan River, like all these things that we're talking about. I was saying
that's not Arabia.
I understand that. I do understand that. But then now I can look up right here though. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Which apostles? Hold up. Which apostles went through? Let's see. So
Paul went to Arabia for 3 years and was rejected.
Yeah, but I thought Paul went to Arabia. But why was he rejected though?
Because he's a false prophet.
No, because he was saying Jesus is God and they were Jewish.
No, he wasn't saying that. But okay. Anyways, keep going.
So wait. You want the verse? Wait. You want me? Wait. You want?
I'm still waiting for when Arabia became a great nation, other than when Islam came to them.
Bro, wait. So wait, are you? Oh wait. So are you agreeing that Yemen, for instance, was Jewish or no?
There was Jewish communities in Yemen, but that wasn't Yemenites are not Ishmaelites.
Oh my God, bro! So every time I make so now you're gonna say every time it's not a true Ishmaelite.
Yeah, Yemenites are not Ishmaelites. It says Ishmael will become a great nation.
How do you know that?
Because the Yemenites don't come from Ishmael. The Yemenites come from what's his name? There's Adnan, and then there's the other guy. What's his name again? I forget his name. But they don't come from Ishmael. The Adnani Arabs come from Ishmael. Qahtan, sorry, yeah. So there's the Qahtani Arabs, and then there's the Adnani Arabs. Adnani Arabs are Ishmaelites. Qahtani Arabs are not Ishmaelites.
So here's the issue with what you're doing, though. So what you're doing is this, though. You're making the claim that through this bloodline thing, when, like, first of all, anytime you use bloodline as like your defeater, it's not good because you can't.
Because God uses the bloodline, dude. In the very verse we're talking about.
God.
Are you okay? God says their blood. He says the bloodline, the nation of Ishmael will be a great nation.
God only uses bloodline in certain instances to show certain aspects of what he's talking
about. Uriah, you got baked, dude. You got baked.
No, I fucked you, bro. What are you talking about?
You got up baked.
You haven't even improved anything, bro.
Yo, Uriah, bro, you're a low tier, man.
You're dumb. You're dumb. Bro, you're not good.
For you to leave Christianity, dude.
Hold on. Bloodline as a defeater is never a good argument, and that's why I didn't use it myself, because there's multiple ways to become.
It's time to leave Christianity, Uriah.
Bro, yo, Muhammad slept with a 9-year-old.
Sorry.
Who did Muhammad sleep with?
Muhammad married Aisha, our mother.
Oh, but I need to leave. I need to leave Christianity, but your prophet, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
So let me just get this straight, Uriah. You're saying that if somebody endorses child marriage, which we don't, but granted, let's say somebody endorses child marriage, then that would be a false god. Is that right?
That's not what I said. I said if you sleep with a 9-year-old, you're a false god.
Then there's if you endorse that, are you a false god?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a read.
You're trying to go to that one verse when what's his name? Jacob, or what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Don't worry where I'm trying to go. Just relax.
I know the verse you're gonna pull up. I know the verse you're gonna pull up.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, and the girl wasn't that old
Let's
either.
Take a look. Because remember, you said anybody who endorses such behavior is a false god.
Yeah,
and you must reject him.
Yeah, endorsing having sexual relations with a minor. Correct. Yeah.
All right. Fantastic, man. All right, so we're in Deuteronomy 22 in the LXX. Let's go to verse 28. Verse 25, 27. All right, can you go 28 right here? Can you go ahead and read?
Yeah, that's very small. Hold on, let me make my screen bigger.
There you go. Wait. 22. Let's make it. All right, here we go. Go ahead.
and if any should find the child/virgin. Wait. Is that or virgin? Is that or?
Nope.
So it just says child virgin?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have to look that up. Okay, child virgin. Whoever was not espoused and using force on her, he went to bed with her, and he should be found, shall give the man going to bed with her to the father of the young woman 50 with the money, whatever, double of silver,
Mm-hmm.
and she will be his wife because he humbled her. You will not be able to send her away at any time.
Okay. So
Yeah.
then your God, who is Jesus Christ, says that you could sleep if you grape and you force yourself on a child virgin. You have to pay 50 shekels to the father and she'll be your wife. Is that correct?
What verse is this?
Deuteronomy 22, verse 28 in the LXX.
Deuteronomy, verse what?
Dude, it's right in front of you. Deuteronomy 22, 28 in the LXX.
22, 28. All right, hold on. All right, let's see. Okay, so who is not lies with her? So the man is required to pay her 50 silver shekels to marry her. He cannot divorce her as long as she lives. Yeah. So nice try, right? Yeah. So nice try, right? So obviously here, this is about a man committing a very bad act here.
Yeah, is it with a child virgin?
Yeah. See, yeah. That child word here. I'm looking at another translation. Yeah, that child word isn't.
I'm not looking at a translation. I'm looking at the Greek Septuagint, the language itself.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, people are disagreeing with that child word. I'm reading it right now.
Yeah, you're reading the Masoretic text. I'm reading the Septuagint, which Jesus and the apostles quote from.
Yeah. So all right, hold on. So one here, God isn't. So wait. One, God. Wait. Did God call for this to happen or no? Yes or no?
This is the law that God gave. This is Deuteronomy.
So hold on. Wait. If God gives a rule for if something bad happens, that does not mean He wants bad things to happen.
Okay.
Nice
So does God say if somebody forces a child virgin asleep with him and he is caught, all he has to do is pay 50 shekels to the father and she'll be his wife? Does God say that?
No. Stop.
Does God say that? Yes or no?
That is a punishment. Correct. That's a punishment.
So then, so according to God, you could marry a child virgin that you force to have intercourse with you.
That's wait. Hold on. Now I want to say this.
Is that correct, sir?
No, that's not what it says. No.
So you reject this verse, right?
No, yeah. Because you're trying to misrepresent what it's saying on purpose.
Okay.
So
I won't. Okay, I want you to read it again. I won't say a single comment. Here, read it. Read it again. You said I'm misrepresenting, so you read it. Here we go.
But you're trying to make it sound like it's an escape thing or something. It's not.
Okay, here. Does it say that you can marry the child virgin? Yes or no?
No, it says you have to.
Okay, it says you can marry the child virgin, right? So your God says you can marry a child virgin.
No,
correct?
stop. No. Let me speak now.
Does it say that or not?
Let me speak, bro.
Does it say that or not?
Can I respond? No. It says you have to because of the punishment.
Okay, so you have to marry a child virgin, right?
Because you committed an adultery.
So then you have to marry a kid.
You have to, right? Yeah. Not the same thing. So let me talk now. Can I speak now, please? All right. So let me speak. So this is what I'm saying. Okay. So now, one, nice try. God is not saying, hey, I want you men to go out here and have sex with children. He never said that. That's one. Two, now God is saying here, hey, you just committed this vile act, so now you're going to take care of this person, is what it is saying.
Okay.
Goofy.
So then,
nice try, bro.
Okay, so then I agree with you. So God is saying, you just forced this little kid to sleep with you,
and that child word,
and you have to marry this little girl forever, correct? So then your God allows you in that circumstance to marry a little kid.
I don't agree with. Oh, hold on, wait. Now this child word, I'm looking it up right now as we're talking. I'm not seeing consistent translation. I'm not seeing that. So I'm not seeing that. So I don't. So regardless, I'm not seeing that.
Oh man. So what am I looking at right now?
But hey, that was nice, right? Though your prophet actually wanted to sleep with a child. Sorry,
just one second. What am I looking at?
We don't do that, gang. Yeah, we don't do that.
What am I looking at? Is this wrong?
No, that's not. Okay, wait. Did God want to sleep with a child? Yes or no?
Your God commanded.
Did
Yeah.
did your guy sleep with a 9-year-old or not?
No.
No, you didn't.
No, my God didn't. No.
Oh, you didn't. So Muhammad. Oh, my God, Muhammad's not your God. Did your prophet sleep with a child?
No.
Yes. 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 Yes.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
See, you see how I answered you so simply? So now can you answer me? What am I
What?
looking at here?
You're looking at a punishment for committing rape. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, I can't say that. I'm sorry, I can't say that. I'm sorry.
And the punishment is that you could marry a kid, right?
No, I'm not agreeing to the child word. I have to do more research on that. I'm not agreeing with that.
You're
but
not
I am
agreeing.
agreeing
So
with the
what?
virgin thing.
Okay. So then this is a corrupted Bible.
No, no. This translation. Oh wait.
It's
The
not a
Greek
translation. I'm looking at the interlinear, not a translation.
You're looking at a Greek text, correct?
Yeah, the Septuagint. That's right.
Okay, right. Okay, and when I'm looking this up, other people are disputing that child word.
Nobody disputes this. You're looking at the Masoretic.
well.
Sorry, just listen. I'm trying to teach you. You're looking at the Hebrew Masoretic, which comes after the 5th century.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the Greek Septuagint, which comes 200, 300 years before Jesus, which Jesus and the apostles in the Gospels and in New Testament used to quote the Old Testament. They used what we're looking at right now to quote the Bible.
Okay, let me see. So,
Nobody disputes that's what the LXX Greek says.
So I'm looking at this more. It says a translates to a bird's young ones or eggs. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking more at what this is translating to, though. I mean, child is being as a placeholder here, but I'm looking more at what this word is.
It literally means child or infant. As a matter of fact, the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 2, uses the same exact word to refer to children as young as 2 years old.
Hold on.
We're looking at it right in front of you, man.
No, hold on. Yeah, exactly. I'm looking at other ones. Hold on. So yeah, I'm looking at other. Bro, I'm not. Okay, am I reading this wrong? I'm seeing woman multiple times here, not child.
1 second, my battery died. So, like I said, you are reading the Hebrew Masoretic text. We're not reading the Hebrew Masoretic text. We're looking at the Greek LXX Septuagint.
Yeah. Wait. So hold on. So I got it right here. Hold on. I got it right here. So, okay. Translation of Septuagint of the Septuagint, which you're using right here, translates using padia, which means child virgin, and then understanding of the nara, the Hebrew word used in the original text is nara, which generally refers to young woman.
Okay, so do you confirm that the Greek text says child virgin?
It does say that.
So does your God allow you to sleep with a kid?
Yeah,
if you force yourself on?
I'm going Hebrew text, gang.
Okay, so you reject the Greek Septuagint that Jesus used?
Yeah, I have to look more to why they use that word instead, but I mean,
just wait. So, yeah. Do you reject the Greek text that Jesus and the apostles used?
Wait. They spoke Greek in Hebrew. They spoke Greek.
The New Testament is what language?
The oldest one we have is in Greek.
The New Testament.
The oldest translation of the New Testament is Greek.
That's the Septuagint. I'm not asking, that's what we're looking at. I'm talking about. No, the Codex Sinaiticus is the New Testament. So I'm talking about the Gospels: Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and John.
Okay, right.
Did they write in Greek?
Did they write in Greek? I don't think so. No. You think they wrote in Greek?
Yes, brother. Yes.
What? Okay, where are you getting this from?
Brother, the Gospel authors wrote in Greek because our earliest manuscripts are Greek texts. Our earliest attestations are in Greek, and the syntax and the grammar of the text is original Greek text.
Well, hold on. Just
Everybody
because
knows
the
this.
oldest. Wait, hold on. Yeah, no, I know that the oldest, like for instance, like the Codex Sinaiticus is the oldest translations we have. Just because that's true does not mean it's in Greek. That they wrote in Greek. That's not what that means.
Okay, when they quote the Old Testament, do they quote the Greek reading or the Hebrew reading?
The apostles.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume Hebrew.
No, not in the
So
New
they quote.
Testament.
So Greek is in it. So Greek is in the Bible.
Yes.
Okay, I need you to tell me that.
Yeah, Matthew 2, when Matthew quotes Isaiah 7, he quotes the Septuagint reading of the text.
Let me see.
Not the Hebrew.
It says the Gospel of Matthew would have mostly likely be written in Aramaic or Hebrew.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, buddy.
Yeah, the Gospel of Matthew is not written in Hebrew. That's the church tradition that the Gospel of Matthew is written in Hebrew. But we know the Gospel of Matthew wasn't written
We
in
don't
Hebrew
even have the
because it's
oldest Bible. We don't have the original Bible, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're missing the
They're
point.
making a claim you can't even prove. You can't prove that, bro. Stop doing that. Stop.
You're missing the point.
You
Okay.
can't prove that, bro.
When the New Testament authors quote the Old Testament, do they quote the Septuagint or the Hebrew text?
Do they quote the Septuagint? Show me the verse. Show me a verse proving what you're saying. I need the verse.
Okay.
Yeah. So while you're getting that information, yeah. So it says young woman. So there's no. Wait, hold on, bro. And this is what really frustrates me.
Hey, quiet, so I could get you the verse.
Yeah, man, you can multitask,
right?
dude. Man, you quiet.
Did you want the verse, sir?
Yeah, go ahead, bro. All this because you can't prove to me God endorsed child sex.
You just admitted it in front of everybody.
It didn't say you go have sex with children. Did it say that?
Yeah, that's what it said.
No, it does not say that.
It says the child virgin.
No. Wait. No. Hold on. No. It says if you do it, this is your punishment. It doesn't say.
Okay, so if you grape a kid, you could marry the kid, right?
No, you. Hold on. Wait. So if it says if you steal from me, I get to steal from you. Does that mean God's telling you don't steal?
Yes.
What? Huh?
Yes.
What?
So
actually, no, you're right. I said that wrong. No, my fault. I see what I said.
So if you grape the kid in your book, you could marry that kid, right?
As a punishment, you have to take care of the child.
Thank you very much, Uriah. Thank you very much. That's fantastic, man. That's insane. That's insane, man. I'll take a couple seconds to read the super chats that we missed. If there's also any other super chats, we'll take a look at them. Here's one. Had's gone with the $2.79. More content on Palestine. The real war started. Inshallah. I'll try my best. May Allah give victory to our brothers and sisters in Palestine. I think that was it, right? Look, man, Lucas Crowley with the $2. Uriah, go read a book. Dude, facts. Go read a book, man. Rami and Khalil with the $2.79. Hey, my boy, how's it going, man? Good to see you here, bro. Good to see you. Thank you for the support. All right, man. Let's see. Let's see who else we got. Oh, wait, we got another. Muhammad Al Diyat with the $5 super chat. Baba baked. Much love, brother. Amen. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you guys. All right, let's see what this person has to offer. Hello. Hello. Age 007. Hello. All right. Mihai Dao, I sent you a message on TikTok a long time ago. Send me again, brother, because my TikTok messages flood. Hello, sir.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. I can't see you.
I don't know. I've got my.
1 sec. Why can't I see you, man?
I don't know. I can see, but I'll turn it on.
Oh, wait. Here.
Yeah, it's better.
It's good like this? Where are you right now? Are you in Greece?
Yes, I'm in Greece.
Nice, man. Nice. Are you an Eastern Orthodox?
Yes, I'm a Greek. Yes.
Okay. Okay. How can I help you today, man?
Well, an Orthodox Christian, the theology we have, who is God? How can we understand, experience
You're
God?
cutting out. You're in and out. Your sound.
Before that, is it God?
1 sec. Maybe my volume. Okay. Speak now.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes. Go ahead.
I said I'm an because of our theology, our theology and know about.
Do you have noise suppression on your mic? Are you wearing a mic or what's?
No, I'm
Turn off your noise suppression.
just a second. Wait. Can you hear me?
No, it's still cutting out. Still cutting out.
No. Well,
I have to.
Thingy.
Hello.
A silver or gold thingy. YouTube.
Hello. Age 007. How's it going?
Why is it not working, Ace?
Hello.
Can I play now? Can I play now?
Ah.
Can I play
Hello, sir. You're live. You're on
Yeah,
stage.
now? Oh.
Sir, you're on stage. Hello. Age 007. You're on stage, my friend. Okay. All right, man. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if this fella, if it works. Yeah, this guy's things all over the place. Hello. Hello. Hi, dude. How's it going?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on? What's going on? Are you a Muslim?
What'd you say?
Are you a Muslim or a Christian?
I'm not a Muslim yet. I'm not a Christian at all, for sure.
You're not a Muslim yet. Okay, okay,
I
man.
just,
So
I
let's
just
make
left
you a Muslim
Juma.
today, man.
What'd you say?
I said, let's make you a Muslim today. What are you waiting for?
I just left Juma, man. I hit you up because I'm, I believe
That's
in the
what's up.
one. I believe the one and only true God. But I had one question about monotheism in Egypt.
In Egypt?
Yes. What was the pharaoh's name who brought monotheism?
The Pharaoh's name who brought, I'm not sure what you're referring to exactly.
Akhenaten.
Who, sorry?
Akhenaten.
I'm not familiar, to be honest.
Hey, I wanted to ask you about that because to me, the main thing, I've been watching your videos for like 2 or 3 days now. And like the main thing that kind of draws me to your videos, well, most of these videos like this over and over again is because I believe in the one true God. And like whenever I was Christian and stuff like that, I believed what I was taught or whatnot, but it was just crazy how God is praying to God. So I started watching you guys' videos, and it was nobody can explain it. And one more thing too. For some reason, all the black Christian men that come on here are so zesty. I wish they would stop that. They're just so embarrassing. You know what I mean? But I was hoping that you could help me out with that. You know what I mean? Do you don't know anything about like?
I know you're referring to Akhenaten. I don't know too much about them, but yeah, sorry about that, man. I'm not too familiar with Egyptian history outside of the biblical narrative and the Quranic narrative. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Hey,
Why does that concern you? What does that have to do with Islam, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm gonna come back as soon as I can because I'm actually about to go do this job right quick. I'm gonna come back as soon as I can. I did not think you was gonna pull me up. I just got in.
Sure thing, man. No worries.
All right, man. Thanks, man. I'll be right back.
Thank you, bro. Have a good one, bro. Bye. Yeah, guys. I don't know nothing about Akhenaten. I don't know nothing about that guy.
Hello.
How's it going, Jordan Jefferson? What's going on?
Yes, sir. Finally, man. How you doing, man?
Good. Are you a Christian?
Yes, sir. I'm Orthodox. Yes, Orthodox, man.
Nice. Are you Oriental or are you Eastern Orthodox?
Eastern.
Nice. How can I help you today?
Well, first, man, look, all respect, bro. My man, follow, good friends. He's a Muslim. He put me on to you. You're definitely one of the best. You're up there with Jake. I like Jake, the metaphysician.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that, but
he's good. I think he's definitely one of my favorite. Obviously, I'm not Muslim. I don't believe in it, but just want to give you the respect you deserve. But I just want to hop on and speak about the Trinity, man. Hope to be respectful. So yeah, the Trinity. Talk about defending it, and so I've heard you've had conversations with God Logic and such. And I'm really curious. What's the main issue in regards to the Trinity, in regards to it not being monotheistic?
Yeah. Before I talk about the Trinity, I like to speak about whether the Trinity even existed in the first 3 centuries.
In the first 3 centuries.
I mean, if we can make an argument from silence, a good argument from silence, it would be that if Jesus taught the Trinity, and the apostles and the early church taught and articulated the Trinity, then we would expect mainstream Christians, mainstream heresiologists, church fathers, church writers to espouse this doctrine. But as far as I know, and as far as scholarship is concerned, there's no such mention of a Nicene Trinitarianism until Nicaea.
Understood. I'm actually on your Patreon. I saw and I read. I think I read all of it. Your document on
that's half finished actually. So
it's half finished. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, there's a lot more fathers before Nicaea, but those are the most popular ones that I have on that document.
Yeah, and so we could definitely talk about that, but then I believe it would then come into interpretation issues because now, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think that they taught subordinationism?
Absolutely, yeah, of course.
Okay, and so what is your because I want this to be like more of a productive conversation because we can talk about that. I'm gonna be honest, it's not my biggest strong suit. I'm more read on the Cappadocian Fathers, and I have read Justin Martyr. I've read some of the early fathers.
You've read Justin Martyr?
I've read Justin Martyr. I haven't read his dialogue with Trifo, but I've read his first apology, and I know what. Yeah, and I've read that. I've read your document, but I think it's going to go back more into interpretation issues, because I believe people are going to have an issue in regards to, like, let me ask you a question. Do you think, if this is a non-Christian statement, do you think it's non-Christian to say the Father is greater than the Son?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Do you think it is a non-Christian statement to say the Father is greater than the Son?
It's a non-Christian statement. What does that mean? You have to qualify what non-Christian statement means.
So there's a reason why I'm asking that specific question. I'm going to qualify it in my statement right here. Some people are going to have issues with saying, "Oh, the Father."
No, when you say the Father is greater than the Son, if you say non-Christian as in non-Nicene statement, I think yes, in its original context and historical understanding, yes, it would be non-Nicene Christian statement. However, the fathers after Nicaea, they have their way of explaining that. They say that he's greater in role and not in ontology, and so it's just going to depend on what you mean by non-Christian statement.
And that's exactly the point I was making, because it's going to come down to interpretation thing. Because even in John of Damascus, I'm sure you've heard of him. In his writing in On the Orthodox Faith, he makes that statement. And so, in regards to let's say the quote unquote, I'm going to say quote unquote, subordinationist statements in the pre-Nicene fathers, I wouldn't believe that they're speaking about Christ being lesser in ontology, but just the fact of being just to finish, sure. the fact that Christ is begotten by the Father, eternally begotten, in a sense of causality, the Father is greater, but not in the sense of ontology.
They make it clear that it's an ontological distinction, though.
So sure, we can go there, and we can go there. We can go there.
So do you believe that Justin Martyr believes in an ontologically distinct other God?
You've made the same statement. Define other. You mean other in separation, or other in
numerically distinct, as he says.
Numerically distinct.
Yeah, a numerically distinct God. He says it himself. He says, when I say distinct, I mean numerically, not in will. So they have a united will, but they're two gods, according to Justin Martyr.
That's if you're counting by identity, which is not that's not normatively how the church fathers counts it. Maybe that's how Justin counts it.
Yeah, that's just not true, though. I mean, that's what
that is true.
Yeah, no, that's what Bo Branson asserts, but that's not true. You want to know why?
Well, I can quote to you a certain church father, and I think the chaplains as well.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to get to you. You said that the church fathers didn't count by identity. Is that right?
I'm making a statement that's certain that especially I'd say the majority, yes.
How many persons do the church fathers count?
3.
Do they count that by identity?
Yes, they count that by they counting that by yes.
So they do count by identity.
Yes.
You just said they don't.
I'm in regards to them being God.
So the counting method is identity.
So the counting method is identity.
The default counting method that they use is counting by identity.
Well, it's a lot more nuanced than just saying counting by identity.
You just said they count 3 persons. They can only count 3 persons if they're counting by identity.
Right, because there's a distinction between the persons.
Right. That's how you count by identity. It's by distinction.
Right. But
so they do count by identity.
Yes. Yeah, I never rejected that they did not.
No, but you did. You just, brother, come on. You just said they don't count by identity, and you're certain about it.
I know. I'm pretty sure I did not say that. Wait. Can I go back? Okay, so I said in majority they counted. They were counting by division.
They don't count by identity.
I said
Justin Martyr counts 2 gods.
Right, and okay, I understand the point that you're making. 100%.
Just wait. How many gods does Justin Martyr count?
How many gods? We can in some sense. I'm not so yeah. What I think you're trying to do is you're trying to force me into
come on, I'm not forcing. I'm saying according to him, what he says. He says it plainly.
So I'm
It's
asking you,
about
does he count two
interpretation.
gods? No, not interpretation. There's no, it's not ambiguous. It's clear. He even clarifies what he means at the end. He says, I shall persuade you that there is, and that there is said to be, and there is another God, a heteros theos, another
Right.
God, subject to the maker of all things, above whom there is no other God. Then he explains what he means. We have the interpretation. He says, when I say other God, I mean numerically,
Can we go to the text?
not in will.
I don't want to interrupt you, but can we go to the text as well?
Yeah, sure. It's, here. $55, $56. Here we go. Okay. Here, we're in 56. That's what he says. He says, I shall attempt to persuade you, since you have understood the scriptures of truth, of what I say, that there is, and that there is said to be, another God and Lord, subject to the maker of all things, who is also called an angel, because he announces to men whatsoever the maker of all things, above whom there is no other God, wishes to announce to them. Okay. He says the same thing again, and then he explains. Let me just find where it was. It's in 56. Let me just control F. Oh, here we go. So he says, so this is just a couple paragraphs under. He says the same thing. He says, reverting to the scriptures, I shall endeavor to persuade you that he who is said to have appeared to Abraham and to Jacob and to Moses, and who is called God, watch, is distinct from him who made all things. Numerically, I mean, not distinct in will. So he's saying there's somebody else who's called God. There's another God. And what I mean by that is that he is another God numerically, but not distinct in will. So there's, for Justin Martyr, there are two gods. One supreme God, above whom there is no other God, and one God under the supreme God, who's another God. They're united in will, so they agree on everything, okay? But there are two gods. They're numerically distinct. So then, would you agree with Justin Martyr when he says that he believes in two gods?
In distinctive persons.
In the what, sorry?
In distinctive persons who both have the fullness of
He
deity.
doesn't say that, though. He says
he doesn't. I'll let you finish.
Yeah, so you don't get to read anachronisms into the works of Justin Martyr. He doesn't say there are two persons and one God. It's not found there. He says they are two different gods. They're numerically different gods, and they're united in will. That's what he says. So do you agree that there are two gods, as he says?
That is reading him, and that's reading Justin Martyr and obviously everyone has a different paradigm, but I don't believe and I read things obviously in the obviously in context and in the Christian tradition as well, and so obviously me believing he's a Christian, this statement doesn't have any issue. But if one wants to take what he says, what Justin Martyr says, and take it and just to take it in a more literal sense, then one could come to that conclusion. But that doesn't mean
I didn't say there's an issue, though. All I asked was, do you agree that an Orthodox lowercase o or uppercase, since you are Orthodox, can an Orthodox Christian say there are two numerically distinct gods?
Can an Orthodox Christian say that there are two? It would. I believe it. I believe it would be impious.
I didn't say if it's impious or not. I said, can somebody stay within Orthodoxy and proclaim two numerically distinct gods?
Well, again, I'd say because I'm not going to answer it obviously in the specific way that you're asking it. But I'd say it's impious because it depends on what we mean when we say such things.
Okay, so then there is a correct context in which somebody, as a Christian, say, "I believe in two gods," and
Well,
this
no,
person. So you
because
did. Okay, so now you're
well,
backtracking. You said there
well,
is.
no, I'm not, because that takes out the Holy Spirit. Because that means that you're just making a separation between the Holy Spirit.
So does Justin Martyr take out the Holy Spirit when he says there are two numerically distinct gods?
Well, that's just that part of the argument. If we're talking about the entirety of his corpus of his work, then
Good.
you can make a
So then,
statement.
so then saying two gods doesn't mean you're taking out the Holy Spirit. So you could say as a Christian, there are two numerically distinct gods, and there's a correct context and meaning in which somebody could say that.
No, you're messing up. You're switching up what I said in my words. I never said that it would be okay to say two gods. First and foremost, I'd say it would be impious. Why would I say it would be impious?
You just said it depends on the context. It depends on what somebody means.
Well, again, let me finish. I said it would be impious. Doesn't mean it's absolutely wrong, but I said that it's okay to say it if then we can then get from what they're saying what's the meaning of such thing.
Good. So then you could, as a Christian, say there are two gods as long as the meaning is correct.
No, because you're leaving out the Holy Spirit. I'm not talking about.
You keep backtracking now.
I'm not backtracking.
You just said that, and then you backtracked.
Okay, I know you know what we believe, right? So my point is that if someone were to say this statement, not just out of nowhere, they would then be leaving out the Holy Spirit. My point is
not out of nowhere. I said with the correct meaning. Can somebody say there are two gods within the correct meaning?
It's impossible to say such a thing.
So then Justin Martyr, he said it. You just said it's impossible. So Justin Martyr's a heretic.
That's one point. If he's just talking about the relation between the Father and the Son.
Right. That's what I'm saying, in the correct meaning. I just said that. So when a Christian is talking about the relationship between the Father and the Son alone, okay, or just the two, can he say I believe in two gods with the correct meaning?
And in the correct meaning, and what I'm saying, this is also including the Holy Spirit, right?
Yes.
What I say, I would say no, because I don't think that's the context of Justin Martyr right there.
So then Justin Martyr is a heretic.
No.
So then a Christian can say I believe in two gods and not be a heretic.
No.
So then Justin Martyr, who said there are two gods, is a heretic.
So if I'm solely speaking out the relation between the Father and the Son, and I say, and I'm making a point, in regards to a pagan, and I say, look, and then there's another God, right? I'm not the point of what I'm saying is that the statement that he's making has nothing to do as of right now with the Holy Spirit. But if someone,
I agree with you. I agree with you, dude. So when Justin Martyr says there are two numerically distinct gods, and he's describing the relationship of the Father and the Son alone, you could say that as a Christian, that there are two numerically distinct gods.
In regards to this context, in regards to Justin Martyr, correct?
Yes.
I think yes, but it would be impious.
Okay, so yes, you can be a Christian and say there are two gods. It
would be impious.
It would be impious. Sounds good. Okay, so then we got over the first hiccup on the road here that Justin Martyr said there are two gods. The second thing that I would go to is where Justin Martyr says that the Son is corruptible and susceptible to change and destruction.
Can you bring up? Can you bring up the text first? I believe I've read this before.
Yes.
I just have to get a refresher.
Yes, I can bring it up. Hold on. All right. So, what the heck is the file, man? Recent. All right, here we go. Okay. Okay, so it's Dialogue with Trifle, chapter 5. Let's just share my screen quickly. Wait.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna say too much. I haven't read this text yet, so
No, that's fine. You could just tell
I'll
me
just make a
how
couple
you
points
could
and then
you could just justify it. All right, you see my screen?
Not yet. I'm sure it'll be coming up soon.
Yeah.
There we go.
Here we go. So it's Dialogue Trifle, chapter 5. Okay, this is the document I made. So the text is straight copied and pasted from New Advent. All right.
I trust you. Yep.
So Justin, is what you say then of a like nature that which with that which Plato and Timaeus hints about the world when he says that it is indeed subject to decay inasmuch as it has been created, but it will neither be dissolved nor meet with the fate of death on account of the will of God? Does it seem to you that the very same can be said of the soul and generally of all things? For those things which exist after God, or shall at any time exist, these have the nature of decay, and are as such as may be blotted out and cease to exist. For God alone is unbegotten and incorruptible. So for Justin Martyr, only the unbegotten God is incorruptible.
He's speaking about the nature, and so can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. My own screen is loading. But even in On the Orthodox Faith by John Damascus, he speaks about, and he is a post-Nicene father, way past Nicaea, and he makes a very similar argument, saying that the essence is unbegotten. The nature that each and every one share is unbegotten. But obviously, you and I know that particularly speaking about the persons, that the Son is unbegotten. So the Son, in his individuality, in himself, is begotten. But the nature that he possesses is
I understand what
so the point that I believe, and I have read this part before, just with an argument with a Muslim in this regards, the nature is unbegotten. So yes, I believe that the nature is unbegotten. I don't believe it's speaking about the person of the Father at all. So no.
Okay, sounds good. So I know what you believe. I know you believe the nature is unbegotten. However, this distinction is anachronistic, is not found in the writings of Justin Martyr. In the writings of Justin Martyr, sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I would disagree with that. I don't think.
Just let me finish. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you why you can't disagree. According to Justin Martyr's writing, he doesn't make that distinction. He doesn't say the nature of God is unbegotten. Then there's the persons, and then the Son, who is truly has that unbegotten nature, is begotten via the relations of opposition, via his individuation. He doesn't make that distinction. For Justin Martyr, the unbegotten God is the Father himself. What's the evidence for that?
Okay, so let's.
One second. Here, you read the first apology, right?
Well, I I've read the first apology, but just to go back onto what we just
wait. I'm just finishing off. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. First apology, chapter 14. Look what he says. He says, and thus do we also, since our persuasion by the word, stand aloof from them, the demons, and follow the only unbegotten God through his Son. So according to Justin Martyr, who is the only unbegotten God?
In this context, it's the Father.
Good. Is there any context in Justin Martyr where the only unbegotten God doesn't refer to the person of the Father?
Yes, in the chapter you just gave me, because
that's the very chapter. That's the very chapter in question. That's fallacious.
Well, no, because I was about to say that what this is right here. This is called the equivocation fallacy. Unbegotten, they're both the same term used
You're
right here. Right?
equivocating, not me.
What? How? Okay,
You're
sure.
equivocating,
Okay,
not me.
wait. Okay,
I'll tell you how you're equivocating. You want me to tell
wait,
you how you're equivocating?
I'd love for you to tell me how I'm equivocating, but I just want to make my point. That what is
Okay.
the context of the chapter that we just read? It is in regards to the nature that he's speaking about, right? Is the context
He's
the
not
nature?
talking
Yes or
about
no?
the nature. No.
So wait, can we go back and see if he's talking about the nature?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Here we go. It is what you say then of a like nature with that which Plato and Timaeus hints about the world when he says that it is indeed subject to decay, inasmuch as it has been created, but that it will neither be dissolved nor meet with the fate of death on account of the will of God. Does it seem to you that the very same can be said of the soul and generally of all things? So he's speaking about particular things, correct?
Well, no, I'd say in particular things in regards to nature in and of itself.
No, he said the soul and generally of all things. He's
Yes.
speaking about particular things. Okay, so we're gonna read.
The question
we're gonna
is,
read.
okay,
Just
so
watch. Just
you
watch.
mentioned
We're gonna.
what?
It's gonna be clear. It's gonna be clear. Just wait. Here,
Okay.
watch. For those things which exist after God, or shall at any time exist, these have the nature of decay. He doesn't say these natures decay. He says these possess the nature of decay. Who is the only one who possesses the nature that doesn't decay? It's the only unbegotten God. So the only one who doesn't decay is the one who possesses the nature that doesn't decay. And that is the unbegotten God. So the unbegotten God for Justin Martyr and all his writings is the Father alone. He's saying all created things are corruptible. All generated things are corruptible. The only incorruptible is the ungenerated, unbegotten. And who is that according to Justin Martyr? That is the Father all over his works. That is all over his works. I could give you 10 instances off the top of my head where Justin Martyr calls the Father the unbegotten God or the only unbegotten God. Not only that, but he says the Son of God is created. And he applies Proverbs chapter 8, verse 22, I think, to him. So then in Justin Martyr, does he make a distinction between the only unbegotten God being the nature and the only unbegotten God being the Father? Does he make that distinction ever in his works?
I would say yes in regards to the what we just read. I think it's chapter 5. Which I would like to go back because that is in regards to your interpretation. Can I do the same thing, but in regards to reading it as well?
Do what? Sorry.
Can we go back to that same passage, and then also the same way you read it and you what's the word?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, awesome. Thank you. So he says, Justin, in what you say then of a like nature, so that which Plato and Timaeus hints about the world, so like nature, and so this let me ask you this question. I want to see if you agree with my premises. Does this, in regards to what Justin is writing right here, is he equivocating, not identically, but similarly, a nature that which Plato is talking about, and that the world is corruptible, and it's subject to decay?
Yeah, he's talking about things that contain a nature of decay.
Awesome. And
that possess the nature of decay.
Awesome. But that's the nature of decay, right? And so they're talking about things possess the nature of decay. And would you say that also is a part of when it says said of the soul and generally of all things, right?
Mm-hmm. The soul possesses a nature of decay.
So awesome. So that there are things that have the nature of decay, And so then then he goes and talks about for those things which exist after God. So he's speaking about created things, right? And so and obviously I'll just read it now. Or shall at any time exist. These have the nature of decay. So they possess. Okay.
So these things possess the nature of decay. Okay.
Yes, these things possess the nature of decay, and are such as may be blotted out and cease to exist. For God alone is unbegotten and incorruptible. And my question, when he says that, in what way is he unbegotten and incorruptible?
Yeah. So the Father possesses the nature that is incorruptible and unbegotten.
Thank you. That's the point. Oh wait. Okay. The Father.
So who is? So
wait.
So who is the only unbegotten? So who is? You just buried it. You just buried it.
No. I did not.
So
because
who is the subject of predication?
I asked you if I asked you if I can make this point.
You made it.
You had your time.
Can I respond now?
So no, I'm not finished yet. So he says, for God. Now so let's say right here, God. We cannot speak about Father, Son, or Holy Spirit. But in this context, he's talking about God alone is unbegotten and incorruptible. He's not talking about in context.
Can I respond to you now?
Well, I'm not. I'm just going to finish my point. He is speaking about things. He's speaking about nature. Does a thing have a nature? He says that God has the nature of unbegottenness and having the nature of being incorruptible. He doesn't speak about hypostatic origin or the Father being the cause.
You're just repeating yourself. Can I respond now?
Yeah, okay, yeah. And so but my point is that he's speaking about nature.
So who is the one who possesses here?
God. God is the one who possesses all things. Things or God possess.
Okay, good. When he says God alone, what's the subject of predication here?
That's the question at hand. That's
just wait. Who's the possessor?
That's the subject that we're questioning. Me and you are questioning.
Just wait. Who possesses? Natures don't possess.
God.
Yeah, who?
God.
God, when you're saying God here, is referring to a nature, right?
It doesn't say possess, it says is. He's equivocating. God is.
So that's a statement of predication.
Huh?
That's a statement of predication, right?
If I say the wall is white, I'm saying that
you're predicating whiteness to the wall.
Right. I'm describing the wall.
Who is
describing the wall?
Brother, who is the possessor here?
God is I'm not saying it's in regards to possession.
Okay, brother, when he says God is incorruptible, that's a statement of predication, correct?
I'm saying he's describing God. He's describing God.
So there's a possessor of a nature. Who is the possessor of the nature?
God is. I'm not.
You're saying, bro. You see, you're backtracking. You said when he says God, he's referring to the divine nature, not to a particular person.
Yes.
Okay. Natures are a predicate or sets of predicates. Okay. They're not subjects.
Right. So I know that. Yeah, they're definitely not subject. Yes.
So who possesses the nature here?
Do you? I've just said I'm not going to speak about it in regards to possession. I'm speaking of description.
Dude, when he says God alone, we already agreed. He's speaking about things that possess a nature of decay versus the only thing that does not possess a nature of decay. We already agreed. So what are the things that possess the nature of decay? Are the particular creatures. Now, what is the thing that possesses the nature that doesn't decay?
What I don't believe that. So yes. So he's okay. So I don't believe that the subject in and of itself is speaking about the persons or a person.
Yeah, I know you don't believe that, but you're gonna have to concede that because he is talking about a thing which possesses the nature that is unbegotten and incorruptible. So who is the subject of predication there?
Okay, so I'm not okay. So if I speak about nature of what? Nature that is incorruptible or nature of decay, if the whole point is that it's speaking about a nature that is what? A nature that is incorruptible and unbegotten.
So somebody possesses that nature, right?
That's not what.
Who is the God?
That's the whole contention of the verse.
God
That's the whole
possesses
contention that we're
nature?
speaking about. That's the whole contention
Yeah.
that we're speaking about.
So who is the God that possesses that nature, dude?
That's you keep on going in circles. That's the whole thing that we're trying to speak
You
about.
keep going on circles. Okay. When he says a soul possesses this kind of nature, therefore it's gonna decay. The creature
Nature of
possesses
what,
this
though?
kind of
Nature of what?
It's gonna decay. What do you mean nature of what?
Because it says a nature a nature that can
Yeah,
decay.
because
That's the whole point. Just saying that
the underlying reality of a soul is that it's susceptible to cease to exist or to be destroyed, okay, or to change, okay.
Yeah.
The underlying reality of the only unbegotten God is that he does not decay. The only unbegotten God for Justin Martyr is the Father. That's in all of his writings. He doesn't speak of God as a set of properties or a universal common essence. He speaks of the only unbegotten God as the Father. So he says the only unbegotten God is uncorruptible.
I think
for Justin Martyr, in order to be incorruptible, you must be ungenerate, which you believe Jesus is generated. Therefore, he cannot be the only unbegotten God.
In his personhood, not in his nature.
Sorry, what? In his personhood?
Yes.
So you're saying Jesus is begotten in his personhood, correct? So he's hypostatically begotten.
Yeah, not in his nature.
Okay, sounds good. Let's actually talk about that for a second here before I end the stream. Okay.
Awesome. And can I say something? And truly, my apologies. I don't mean to interrupt you. My apologies. I struggle with that. I just want to apologize for it. But I did want to also speak about, because you made a statement, because I think that's the whole topic of what we're talking about right now is the God, who is the in regards to the meaning of the word God and or polytheos there. My point is that then I would love to go to Justin Martyr's corpuses, his entire corpus, and speak about, does he only speak about the Father, or in regards to speaking about the Father as unbegotten? But I think in the context he's speaking about, the context is talking about nature.
For Justin Martyr, the unbegotten God is the Father. That's right. But you mentioned something. You said that the Son is hypostatically generated. Is that right?
Begotten, yes.
Okay. So then you would say paternity is an essential property of the essence, or no?
Not, you said an essential property of the no, because they share the exact same essence.
Okay, so then X can be God without having paternity.
God, I've heard this argument before. He said X can be God without having paternity, because paternity relates to the person and their hypostatic properties or their hypostatic origin, not the essence.
Okay, so then what makes somebody God is his essential properties, the divine making properties, right?
What makes somebody God
not the hypostatic ones.
What makes somebody God is possessing the essence.
Okay, good. And is paternity a property of the essence?
It's a property of the Father.
So it's not a property of the essence.
Yes, in regards to it's not a property of the essence. It's a property of his personhood.
Good. So X could possess the divine nature without having paternity.
Yes, in regards to what I'm speaking about.
Good. So then the Father can possess the divine nature without having paternity.
That's impossible, because that's who the Father is.
Okay, so then it's an essential divine making property to have paternity.
Oh my God. Bro, dude. Okay. That doesn't make any sense if the Father, by his identity, is known as the paternity, as the arche, as the cause.
But why?
Because that's how God revealed himself. Now,
no, just wait.
Mm-hmm.
You said paternity is not grounded by the essence. Yes?
I'm saying, define, what do you mean when saying paternity? Paternity is not grounded by the essence.
So the Father, what makes him God has nothing to, or the first person of the Trinity, paternity is one of those things that makes him God.
Paternity is how he exists, is the mode of his existence.
I understand that. Okay.
Right.
But the divine essence, okay, he is not the Father because of the divine essence.
Yes, he is not the Father because of the divine
Okay,
essence.
good. Okay, good. So
In
then
wait,
paternity. Just let me
in
finish.
well, you asked me a question. I need to clarify what I'm saying so you don't clip farm me. In regards to, because obviously, like the father in regards to eternity, he possesses the nature. In regards to just the essence. In regard because there's no separation between personhood and essence.
Okay. There's a distinction between them, right?
Distinction, not a separation. Yes.
Good. I didn't talk about that. So then,
Right. Just make it clear though.
the first person is not a father because of the essence.
I'm sorry. Say it again. I was looking at something.
Is the first person of the Trinity a father because of the essence?
I mean, I could say in some degree, yeah, in some degree. Yeah.
So it's a property of the essence?
Well, no, it's what I mean by when I say that.
So then it's not because of the essence.
Again, it's what I mean by when I said. You should probably ask, what do you mean by that? Instead of
When I say because of the essence, it's because it's an essential property of the essence.
He is the Father. He is the Father because of his mode of existence.
Okay,
and
so
him
not because of the essence,
begetting,
right?
and eternally begetting the Son.
That's fine, but not because of the essence.
Not because, he to be the Father in regards to what we call him, he has to possess the essence.
That's fine, but the essence doesn't make him a father.
Right. Yes.
Good. What makes him a father?
Him eternally begetting the Son.
Why must he eternally beget?
I don't know. That's how God has revealed himself to us.
So then you don't know what grounds this essential hypostatic property?
What grounds this potential hypostatic property?
Mm-hmm.
Why it must? I think when
why must the first person be a father in every world?
Can you repeat that? Sorry, I just got a call and you glitched out.
What the question was? What grounds the necessity of the first person being the father in every world?
You got to give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I don't want you to keep repeating yourself. I just had a call come through.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll repeat. What grounds the necessity of the first person of the Trinity being a father in every world?
I'm gonna be honest. This right here, so I think you're asking the question in regards to why does God have to be a Trinity?
Not a Trinity. Why does he have to beget in every world?
I believe that because of his revelation, because I believe that's how God has revealed himself.
No, he revealed himself.
I cannot answer this question.
He revealed himself in this world.
I can't answer it because of how he's revealed himself.
Okay, I could reveal myself to you as somebody with a kid. Yes, say hi. My name is the Orthodox Muslim.
Yeah,
I have 2 sons. Okay,
yeah.
So I revealed myself as somebody who's a father. Yes.
Yeah.
Do I have to be a father in every world?
You don't have to be a father in every world. No.
Good. So the father revealed himself as having a son in this world. Does he have to have a son in every world?
Yes.
Why?
Because he can't change.
Is that a property of the essence? Because immutability is a property of the essence.
Right.
So then paternity must be a property of the essence.
But no, I also believe that the persons in themselves can't change because.
So then he doesn't change. Well, him not being a father is not a change.
Well, follow me in this logic, because if there's a strong relation between the essence and the persons. If
that presupposes the existence of the other person.
Can I just finish what I was saying?
No, but I want you to follow. The question was, why must the father? So just remember, because you keep talking about other persons, that's the very thing that we're questioning. Why must the father beget other persons? Why must he be a father to begin with in every world? You can't appeal to existence of persons when I'm telling you why must they exist to begin with.
Because that would then make even the essence in and of itself change because they possess essence.
So then these relations are properties of the essence.
No, they're not properties of
the essence. So then the essence doesn't change because they have nothing to do with the essence.
If the Father were to create a fourth person in time, then it would,
I said, why must he be a father to begin with? Why does he have to
I
be
believe
gay?
I believe he's a father because of revelation.
Yeah, I understand, but why does he have to be a father in every world? Why is it necessary? For me, like I said, I can reveal to you I'm a father. It doesn't mean I could have not been a father.
But you also exist in time. That's the difference. You exist in time. God doesn't exist in time. So that doesn't follow.
But existing in time has nothing to do with this, though.
It literally does.
No, it has nothing to do. We're talking about generation. I didn't say
maybe
generation.
in your paradigm, but it doesn't in Christian paradigm.
No, I didn't say generation.
I'm sure you understand that, right?
You're not understand. I didn't say generation has to be temporal. Okay, fine. Atemporal generation. Why must that occur in every world?
Okay, then the question is, why must eternal generation occur in every single world?
Mm-hmm.
Because that is the eternal eternally being begotten of the Father is the hypostatic or
why must that be the case in every world?
I'm gonna say two things because of revelation, and I think we're kind of going in circles in regards to because you're not gonna get a different answer. I mean, I'm just trying to be honest. You're not gonna get a different answer out of me. That's
okay. That's fine. So then, so we know that God is all knowing in every world because that's grounded by His essence.
Well, that's an energy.
We know that's fine. We know that He is immutable in every world because that's grounded by the essence. We know that He's all powerful in every world because that's grounded in His essence. You said paternity is not grounded in the essence. So why then must He be a father in every world?
He doesn't exist. He doesn't exist in time.
Has nothing to do with time, though.
It literally has to do with
paternity has nothing to do with time. Why must He be a father in every world?
It doesn't make any sense, I'll be honest.
All of a sudden, you can't understand?
No,
why does He have to be a father in every world?
I don't understand the point that I don't understand.
Okay.
Wait, let me at least finish. Okay. If you are, and you said we think that this is grounded in the essence, this is grounded in the essence. You know, we don't speak by the essence, right? So I believe these to be energies. My point is that if this, you said it's not important if it is not, if it is or is not in time. If this thing is in time, then by definition, it means the essence can change. We don't believe the essence can change. Therefore, for Father, Son, and Spirit must exist.
The relations are not properties of the essence, though.
I know.
So then the essence doesn't change.
But that means you must make a separation between the essence and the person. So then
I'm making a distinction.
No, that's not a distinction, bro. That's literally a separation.
And that assumes they have the same essence anyway. That's the very thing we're battling. But
you're assuming this in your own conversation. You're assuming that they do.
You're assuming the Father and the Son have the same essence. I'm contending that. So you
okay,
can't.
But in this
you can't use that as an answer. So I'm saying the Father.
How can I use that as an answer?
What do you mean?
How can I not use the fact that
Because that's the very thing I'm contending. That's the thing you're trying to prove to me. You're trying to prove to me that they could have the same essence while having these hypostatic properties that are necessary in every world. I'm saying they can't have the same essence. Why? Because it seems to be that the Father has to be a father in every world. And it seems that the only grounding possible for that is the essence. So then if the essence has if it's an essential property of the essence to be a father, then the Son cannot have the same essence as the Father because the Son will also be a father. Okay? So then this is circular. So I'm asking you, for example, I'm a father in this world. Let's say I'm not actually, but let's say I'm a father in this world. And I came up to you, Jordan, and I said, in every possible world that I exist, I have to be a father. And you tell me, well, why? Why must that be the case? Well, I don't know. It just says in every world that the Orthodox Muslim exists, he's a father. But the question is why? Why can't the Orthodox Muslim exist and not be a father? Well, there is no why, because there's no grounding for that necessity. But if it was to do with the soul, because it's essential property of the essence and grounded by the essence, the human essence, we'll say, in every world, Jordan, that I exist, I have a soul. You tell me why? Well, because I'm a human. And human essence grounds the necessity of having a soul and rationale. So that in every world that I exist, where I'm a human, I have a soul. So that grounds the necessity. So when it comes to the Father, or the first person of the Trinity, what grounds the necessity of him having paternity in every world? If it's not the essence, then what is it?
And so yeah, so I understand the point you're making, but you exist. I know, and yeah, I say you exist in time. So the fact, so that there's a huge
Nothing to do with
distinction.
time. That's literally nothing. What does that have to do with time? We're talking about modal logic. We're talking about possible world. It has nothing to do with time. Forget
Because
time. Why does the Father have to eternally generate in every world? Why does he have to generate outside of time in every world?
And I guess again, like that only way I'm going to answer that is by revelation and by logic, because
Not revelation
wait.
in this world, man. My goodness, we went over this.
Can't finish.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean it's the same answer. That if you can exist in a world without a son, because you yourself now you would not be a father. You would not be a father if you had no son nor a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You yourself could still exist.
So why can't the Father exist without a son?
Why can't the Father exist without the Son? Because one, by revelation. I know it seems to be you're not obviously
the revelation is only in this world.
Wait. I know you don't accept the answer. That's what I was trying to say. I know you don't accept the answer.
It's not that I don't. I accept it. I'm saying it doesn't answer the question. I'm saying, fine, revelation, but that's only to do with this world. I'm asking about possible worlds.
Right.
So, for example, in this world, God saved us by crucifixion. Yes?
Yes.
He revealed that. But in another world, he could have saved us another way.
Right.
Maybe by an electric chair. So in another world, it could have been something else. So I'm asking you, in this world, God begot a son, according to you. Why does he have to do that in every world?
Why does he have to do that in regards to the crucifixion, or you're asking in regards to the Trinity, right?
In regards to being a father.
Right. I would say in regards to being a father, I would say in regard, like the reason why he would have to do that is because then the father's existence the father wouldn't even exist in and of itself. The father wouldn't exist in that world.
Why?
Because then he wouldn't be a father.
But you're assuming he's a father. I'm saying, why does he have to be a father?
Although I can't answer that question, if I'm being honest.
That's the question that the Arians posed to the Cappadocians, and Saint Gregory of Nazianzus, Saint Gregory of Nyssa, and Basil did not have an answer for it. And until today, you don't. The Arians got you on this one. You have to admit it. Eunomius got you on this one.
Okay, well,
that proves that the Father and the Son, at the very least, are homoousios, not homoousios. That they are of similar natures, but they can't have the same essence.
And so no, I hear what you're saying. I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of happy if what you're saying is true about this is like if I'm in the same company as the Cappadocians, and I'm kind of happy. I'm happy that I'm thinking the same way as the Cappadocians. And if I can't answer that question, it's predicated upon the nature of Christ, and our understanding of the Father, because obviously if that's the case that you're speaking about and the case that I'm speaking about, it's because of different axioms of the Father and the Son.
Okay, so then there's no answer. It's just okay. Well, that's it. Thank you for coming, man. I appreciate it.
Quick question. How old are you?
I'm 22 next month.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. My boy told me you're 21. That's incredible, man. You don't look 21, but that's incredible. And I just wanted to ask, but I mean, because you read a lot. When did you start reading into, like, obviously, like the Quran and both the scriptures and church history? Because obviously you're extremely well read.
Church history probably a year ago. Everything else, it's been like 5 years.
Wow, only a year. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, how often do you do these streams? I'd love to hop on at the time.
One day TikTok, one day YouTube. So every day.
Like every other day?
So on YouTube every other day, yeah.
Awesome. Well, have a blessed day, man. Have a blessed day, Lubiano.
All right, thank you, man. Thank you for coming. Have a good one. Right. Hey, man. I don't know why people just... I swear, people be driving like microwaves, steel buckets, and installing all kinds of, modifications and making them loud, like, for no reason. But yeah, guys, we've been going at it for about, where do we check how long we've been going for, man? Oh yeah, there we go. 2 hours and 21 minutes. Yeah, guys, it's so hot in here, man. It's like 25 degrees. I'm getting tired. Yeah, guys, we're gonna call it a day. Let's see if there's any super chats that come through before we move on. Steelman03 with the $5 super chat. I see what you did there. Everyone knows Lubiano has two sons, Avery ibn Lubiano and David ibn Lubiano. That's right. I'm open to having more children. I am open to having more children. I'm going to be a single father of 10. Thank you for the support. But yeah, guys, we'll call it a day, man. That's it. Thank you so much for coming. For all those in the requests on waiting to come on stage, I apologize. We didn't have enough time. But next time, inshallah, I'll make sure that I bring as many people up as I can. Thank you for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. We're almost at the big 40K. We hit 100K on TikTok, so that's exciting. It's been an amazing journey. We just came back from Toronto, and stay tuned for a lot of content, especially in the summertime. We have a lot of content being pushed. I'm gonna focus more on real life content. So yeah, I can't message you no more. TikTok has rule limits. Is your TikTok Mihai Dawa? If it is, I'll just look you up. Thank you for coming. Thank you for attending, for watching. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. I'll see you guys.